I'm going to reveal 5 common foods that you might be eating every day that could be silently clogging your arteries. When we think of heart health, we often focus on exercising regularly and getting enough sleep. But what about the foods we eat? The truth is, some of the most common foods in our diets can be secretly clogging our arteries, leading to serious health problems down the line. But by being aware of these foods, we can take control of our health and make positive changes. Our hearts are incredibly resilient organs, capable of pumping thousands of gallons of blood every year. But with great power comes great responsibility. We need to take care of our hearts if we want them to keep ticking. And that means being mindful of what we put into our bodies. The health of our arteries plays a huge role in our overall heart health. When our arteries are clear and flowing freely, our hearts can function at their best. But when they're clogged and restricted, our hearts have to work much harder to get the blood flowing, leading to high blood pressure, fatigue, and even heart disease. So, what are some of the most surprising culprits when it comes to clogged arteries? You might be shocked to learn that some of the foods you eat every day could be contributing to this problem. Number 8. Saturated fat. The impact of saturated fats on heart health has been well documented, yet many people still consume them in large quantities without realizing the risks. Saturated fats are commonly found in foods like fatty cuts of red meat, butter, full-fat dairy products, and processed snacks such as chips and pastries. When consumed in excess, these fats can raise the levels of low-density lipoprotein, LDL cholesterol in the blood. This bad cholesterol doesn't just float harmlessly through your system. It tends to stick to the walls of your arteries, gradually forming deposits known as plaque. Over time, this plaque can thicken and harden, narrowing the arteries and restricting blood flow. The process is subtle, often occurring over many years, with no noticeable symptoms until a significant blockage has developed. By the time it becomes apparent, the damage may already be advanced, increasing the risk of serious conditions such as heart attack or stroke. Reducing saturated fat intake and choosing healthier alternatives, like lean proteins, olive oil, or avocado, can significantly impact your artery health. These changes might seem small, but they contribute to keeping your blood vessels flexible and clear. Number 7. Sugary beverages. Sugary drinks may not seem like an obvious threat to your arteries, but their effects extend beyond just adding extra calories to your diet. Sodas, energy drinks, sweetened teas, and even fruit juices with added sugars can wreak havoc on the body in less direct but equally dangerous ways. When you consume sugary beverages, they cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, forcing the body to release large amounts of insulin. Over time, frequent sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance, a condition that disrupts how your body processes glucose and can contribute to the development of type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance isn't just a precursor to diabetes, it also promotes inflammation throughout the body, which damages the lining of the arteries. This damage makes it easier for cholesterol and other substances to cling to the arterial walls, forming plaque. Furthermore, high sugar intake is linked to elevated levels of triglycerides, another type of fat found in the blood. When triglyceride levels rise, they compound the effects of cholesterol, making the arteries even more susceptible to narrowing and clogging. Cutting down on sugary drinks and replacing them with water, unsweetened tea, or beverages naturally low in sugar can help reduce these risks. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate all your favorite treats, but being mindful of sugar intake can make a difference in keeping your arteries functioning optimally. Even a small shift in your daily habits, like swapping out 1 soda a day for a glass of water, can start to ease the strain on your cardiovascular system. Number 6. Red meat. Red meat, such as beef, pork, and lamb, is often a staple in many diets. While it can be a source of important nutrients like protein and iron, the regular consumption of certain cuts, particularly those high in fat, can contribute to artery problems. The saturated fats in red meat don't just affect cholesterol levels, they also tend to promote the accumulation of inflammatory compounds in the body. This inflammation can irritate the lining of the arteries, creating a more conducive environment for plaque to form and adhere. Beyond just the fats, red meat is also rich in a compound known as carnitine, which has been linked to the production of a substance called TMAO, trimethylamine N oxide, when broken down by gut bacteria. Elevated levels of TMAO have been associated with an increased risk of arterial blockages. This combination of inflammatory responses and biochemical interactions makes red meat a double-edged sword for cardiovascular health. The occasional steak may not be an issue, but frequent consumption can set the stage for gradual artery narrowing and hardening, a process that is often symptomless until a serious event occurs. Number 5. Refined grains. Refined grains, found in foods like white bread, pasta, and many baked goods, may seem harmless, but they play a significant role in arterial health. Unlike whole grains, refined grains have been stripped of their fiber and nutrient-rich components, leaving behind mostly starch. This makes them rapidly digestible, which causes a swift rise in blood sugar levels after eating. The frequent consumption of refined grains can lead to chronic spikes in blood sugar and insulin, a pattern that encourages the body to store excess fat, particularly around the abdomen. The metabolic effects of refined grains extend to the blood vessels. The quick digestion and subsequent insulin response can contribute to a cycle of inflammation and increased oxidative stress. Over time, these repeated fluctuations wear down the arterial walls, making them more vulnerable to cholesterol deposition. Moreover, refined grains lack the fiber that helps to manage cholesterol levels and maintain blood vessel health, which means they offer little protection against the very damage they facilitate. Number 4. Packaged baked goods. Packaged baked goods, such as cookies, muffins, and snack cakes, may seem like convenient treats, but their effects on your arteries are less obvious. These foods are often made with hydrogenated oils and artificial ingredients that can linger in the body, contributing to artery problems in ways you might not expect. The refined sugars and unhealthy fats in these products can trigger metabolic responses that encourage fat storage and disrupt normal blood sugar regulation. Over time, this can strain the cardiovascular system and subtly weaken the health of your arteries. Moreover, the preservatives and additives used to extend the shelf life of these items can introduce a mix of chemicals into your body that may exacerbate inflammation. While inflammation is a natural immune response, when it becomes chronic, it can subtly affect the inner walls of your arteries, setting the stage for plaque accumulation. The combination of synthetic ingredients, low fiber content, and excess sugar makes packaged baked goods more than just an occasional indulgence. They can quietly work against the health of your blood vessels. Number 3. Processed meat. Processed meats, such as bacon, sausages, and deli slices, bring more than just high levels of saturated fat to your plate. Many of these products contain chemical preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, which help maintain color and shelf life, but can have hidden effects on your arteries. When consumed, these preservatives can be converted into harmful compounds in the body that may contribute to oxidative stress. This type of stress doesn't just affect individual cells. It impacts the entire cardiovascular system by making the arteries more prone to damage and plaque buildup. In addition to chemical additives, processed meats are often loaded with salt. The high sodium content can lead to elevated blood pressure, which adds extra strain on the arterial walls over time. This constant pressure may not seem like much in the short term, but as the years go by, it can stiffen the arteries, making them less flexible and more likely to develop blockages. While the convenience of processed meats is undeniable, their subtle long-term effects on your heart health are worth considering when planning your diet. Packaged baked goods and processed meats may seem like harmless indulgences, but they can contribute to the gradual deterioration of artery health in unexpected ways. Number 2. Deep-fried foods. Deep-fried foods, like French fries, fried chicken, and donuts, go through a cooking process that not only adds excess calories, but also introduces potentially harmful compounds. When foods are fried at high temperatures, particularly in oils that have been used multiple times, they can develop substances known as advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These compounds can accumulate in the body and are linked to inflammation and oxidative stress. Over time, this can impact the integrity of your blood vessels, gradually weakening the artery walls and making them more susceptible to plaque formation. Additionally, the type of oil used in frying can play a significant role. Many deep-fried foods are cooked in oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, can throw off the balance of healthy fats in your diet and encourage inflammatory processes. These factors combined mean that indulging in deep-fried snacks can quietly set the stage for cardiovascular issues by making your arteries more vulnerable to damage, even if it doesn't feel harmful at the moment. Number 1. Full-fat dairy products. Full-fat dairy products, such as cheese, cream, and butter, do more than just add richness to meals. They introduce a substantial amount of saturated fat into your diet. While the impact of saturated fats on cholesterol levels is well known, full-fat dairy also affects arterial health in other subtle ways. It contains cholesterol itself, and when consumed regularly in large amounts, it can contribute to the buildup of cholesterol deposits within the blood vessels. These deposits can accumulate gradually, leading to a reduction in blood flow. Moreover, many full-fat dairy products are often enjoyed alongside other high-fat or sugary foods, amplifying the overall risk to arterial health. For instance, rich desserts that combine full-fat cream with refined sugar can spike blood sugar levels, which may increase the risk of developing conditions like insulin resistance. The combination of high cholesterol intake and fluctuating blood sugar can quietly chip away at the flexibility of the arteries, making them more rigid and prone to developing blockages over time. In fact, did you know that a single serving of cheddar cheese can contain up to 25 grams of saturated fat? That's a staggering amount, especially when you consider that the American Heart Association recommends limiting our daily intake of saturated fat to just 13 grams. So, what are the central challenges of maintaining heart health, and how can we overcome them? One of the biggest challenges is simply being aware of the foods that can harm our hearts. Many of us assume that as long as we're eating foods that are low in fat and sugar, we're doing okay. But the truth is, even seemingly healthy foods can be hiding dangers. For example, did you know that many whole wheat breads contain added sugars and preservatives that can increase inflammation in the body? Or that some vegetable oils can be high in omega-6 fatty acids, which can lead to chronic inflammation and heart disease? The truth is, there are many foods that can secretly clog our arteries, and it's up to us to educate ourselves and make positive changes. So, what can we do to reduce our risk of heart disease and clogged arteries? The good news is, it's simpler than you might think. By making a few simple changes to our diets and lifestyles, we can drastically reduce our risk of heart disease and live healthier, happier lives. You can also check out my other video that talks about 8 signs your body tells you might have a heart disease, risk of heart disease. We want to hear from you. Share your experiences below in the comments below, and like this video, remember to turn on the notification bell.